streaming. Maurice liked them.
Dude, that's all that really matters. Talk about a 10. The double baby bounce back.
Okay, there we go. Now if I say hi Poi, does it show up? Oh my god, does Poi... I've almost said Poi so many times that the emoji comes up like autofill. Instead of like the okay sign.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Hi Poi. Oh, there we go. Cool. Now we have 0% dropped frames. That's a pretty good percentage.
Wow, why?
Dude, I don't know.
'Cause I think it's working.
I legit think it was trying to run off my CPU, even though it's a setting I would never touch, because why would I want it not to run off a graphics
I
card?
told you there was probably an update.
Maybe.
Oh, that
Okay.
wasn't too bad. You posted in Discord 10:57. That was only 20 minutes ago. We are usually much later than that. I was just gonna type in an apology or, "Hey, we're finally. It looks like we're finally fixed," but anyone who's used to us is gonna assume that we're gonna be 30 minutes after.
Yeah. This is why I talk about random crap. This is why we need a New Jeans minute. I need a buffer so when we're on like the 4th stream, people could try to find us.
But people like New Jeans, so let's keep it official and say welcome to this week's edition of the Stardom Fan Podcast. I'm Mark, and with me today is my beautiful New Jeans bunny Juno. Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing, man? We got a great podcast for you all today. But first, what do you have for me?
Well, Mark is going to break down his top 10 Pauly Shore movies and why.
I was actually gonna throw you a swerve, and I was really gonna get into I can't think of Ernest. That's my top 10 Ernest movies.
Ernest
So we
goes
got Ernest
to...
Goes Camping, Ernest Goes to Jail,
Doesn't he go
Ernest
to
Goes
Mars?
Shopping. I mean, Jason and Freddie did, right?
Is that the same guy who does the monster movie, like Elvira? Like, he pauses in between, like, the movies to, like, this is what this movie's about, and then, like, like, the horror movie marathons, like Svengoolie. No,
Oh,
that's Joe Bob. Joe Bob Brigg. I don't know if it's the same guy or not. I think it is.
I like it.
Anyway, he says stuff that's funny where he's like, this next we're going to watch Friday the 13th, part 6. Now, in this movie, they kill a dog. And we know you can do any type of horrific, terrible thing you want to do to a human being, any type of sadistic thing the mind can come up with, but you don't mess with the animals. We all know this.
Isn't that weird? Has that been studied? Like, there's got to be a thing. Like, you can literally do anything to a person, and I know because. All right, that was a weird statement, but I know because
Yeah, I know.
for some reason in my house, like my wife just loves the Law and Orders, the Criminal Minds, all that kind of stuff, right? So like we can watch the most heinous stuff in the world, but the second there's a dead dog on TV, it's like, no, that's just gone too far. Oh no, they didn't. like that.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit what's going on with HYBE, the company that basically owns Adore, and Adore is the company that has the rights to New Jeans, like basically their exclusive contract in Korea. Now, I was going to talk about how...
Would you like to? I'm
Oh,
sorry,
okay, it says
to
another
interrupt you
coding
because that's what I
problem,
do.
so like we'll see if it's good. Oh, it went away.
Okay. The
Fair enough.
question is New Jeans so popular that you don't feel you need a New Jeans background? We haven't talked about them like really since your birthday. I mean, it's been 6 months since we really had a true New Jeans minute.
That's because... Okay, so what happened was they did their own concert in Hong Kong and sold it out themselves, and it was awesome, and they produced it themselves. And then HYBE says like, no, let us be a part of it, like because they want to run a HYBE or like a door, but that's the same thing. And they went to the courts because like they've New Jeans is claiming that Adore broke their contract and they're free to do whatever they want. And Adore's like, no, they're still under a contract with us till like 2029. And the courts said yes until we actually decide what's going on. Not only can you not do anything, any type of promotion, whatever, without Adore's permission, if you do, it's a billion Korean won per person. So if all 5 members do something and Adore doesn't approve it, it's 5 billion Korean won, which is like $100 million or something crazy per
Did they
event.
technic did they technically change their name?
Well, yeah, they were NJZ for a minute, and then they were like MHDHH, which is all their initials. M,
Oh,
yeah, I think that's what it is.
I was
But
almost going to ask. Chicken wrote that when he did the request for a New Jeans
well,
minute, and I
because
was
they
like, I have
couldn't.
no idea what that means. But
Well, they
I
just
was like, I'm sure it
assumed.
means something I don't understand.
Well, they're like they broke the contract. We're gone. It's like okay, we can't be. We'll be NJZ now. And then they're like, no, we're still gonna claim that you're part of our company, and that the contract is still valid. And like, okay, but we're still not calling ourselves New Jeans.
All right, so this sort of reminds so they can't do their act, but under like just their own names or a different name. Like I'm
Well, they
picturing
can book
like
them.
WWE owns somebody, but then once they leave, Babe Priestley is just going to be Babe Priestley again. It's like, can't they just like leave the Empire and go wrestle, or I mean, sing and dance somewhere
Uh,
else?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I think that's why they went to Hong Kong. I think their contract is only exclusive in Korea, but I could be wrong. I don't
Well,
know. I'm
there's
not
no
a lawyer.
copyrights in China.
It's
Get out of here.
I don't even think you're allowed to say Hong Kong is a place. I think that's politically incorrect now, according to the chart. Is that are they over that? I know there's a time when you weren't supposed to say anything about Hong Kong. Can I get into my New Jeans minute, please?
Yeah, but I have another question. I mean, I'm the outsider, so I mean, it's possible that I have the same questions that others have.
Yay, point.
When was the last time they released music, and how are they still like number 3 in the K-pop world?
Technically they
I
did.
fed you a softball there. Oh,
Technically, they did release the song when they went to Hong Kong. Basically, they did all other people's songs, and they debuted like their own, like a new song called Pit Stop. But they're not. They only performed it once. But they haven't done an actual song in over a year. Yeah, they just won an award. Adore claims that like they're doing everything to like keep promoting New Jeans, even though they put them on hiatus like before they even said that they weren't that they're breaking their contract. And it's like they never announced once they were up for an award, and then they won the award as like the best girls group in Japan, and they didn't even announce that they won the award either. Like that seems weird. But I don't know. They just
I
keep.
just
They're just the. They're always like. They're always like top three. They're like top three, both like I think Espa maybe, and then La Seraphim, and they don't even put out music because they're not allowed to.
yeah, that's
Well, because like Michael Jackson,
astonishing.
how many people are still getting Elvis tattoos? It's like music is timeless.
Well, that's for sure.
Now I'm gonna read you this article, and this article is funny because I found this article after. This article comes 2 days before the next one I'm gonna read really quick, and it's so funny because it's like, huh. So HYBE, the people who own Adore, who like own New Jeans, they basically bought out a bunch of stock in their number one competitor. So like basically like they're kind of like a monopoly, sort of. But this article says HYBE is just deciding to sell 243 billion Korean, I think it's called wons, whatever, stake in SM Entertainment to this Chinese company. And on May 27th, a filing, blah blah blah. They want to move around 243 billion, involving 2.2 million shares, which is about 15% lower than the current marketplace price. So they're trying to sell off their shares in this company, which is pretty fishy, right? Why would you be fighting to like buy out your competitor and then quickly trying to sell it off at below market value? That's pretty shady. It's almost like they're trying to like liquidate their
It's
assets
called
for some
shorting
reason.
or something, isn't it?
It's like they're trying to
I
like
don't
liquidate
understand.
their assets for some reason. Because this article is awesome. Will the BTS agency chairman Bang Si-hyuk face life in prison inside his 400 billion stock scandal? What I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically, what this dude did, allegedly, is before HYBE went public, he was telling everybody that no, we're not going public. We're a private music company. But on the insides, they were doing everything they could to get ready for a public release, and they were telling all like basically insider trading, like a few select people, yeah, actually we are gonna go public. So what you should do is buy like basically manipulate the stock now because we are going public. And what is the limit? The limit is it's like a minimum 5-year sentence, but if it's over a certain amount, where the heck is it? Oh, here we go. So if it exceeds, so it's a 5-year minimum sentence if you get caught for like the stock manipulation. But if it's over 5 billion, it could be life in prison. How much is he alleged to have manipulated? Not 5 billion, 400 billion. And then he personally profited like 300 million. So this
What
story
is that in freedom
came out
bucks?
300 million.
Oh,
So it's basically like
that's the money we're talking
it's
about.
basically like if what's that come out to? It's like if the minimum sentence is 5 years, but if you manipulate over 5 million, it could be life in prison. And he manipulated like 300 million personally. That's just personally. So it's like he could go to life in prison. And then it's interesting. This other article came out days before where they're trying to sell off all their like stock in other companies. And then finally, I think it comes out to like 4 billion or like American dollars, like 4 billion that they could be sued for and have to pay out to like the past investors. And the company's only worth like less than it's like right here 8 billion. So they could be sued for like half of their company's worth, and their CEO could go to prison for life. But people will still say that like they're completely on the up and up, and like the girls who like to cuddle stuffed animals and talk about cookies are the bad guys. That's my New Jeans minute.
Are they going to win?
I don't trust Korean courts at all, so I don't know. Probably not.
What stops them from just like piecing out and like signing with like Virgin or like Universal or something?
They have. I don't know. I mean, because I assume if they try to, they have to pay out a shit ton of money till this like
Yeah,
thing is sorted with.
it just seems weird. It seems like they seem like the type of group that anyone would want a piece of. They're like, listen, sign with us. We're gonna give this fat fuck a ton of money, sweep it under the rug, make this disappear, and come fly to America. Life is good. And then next thing
Right?
you know, they're on a reality show on Nickelodeon. Fucking Big Time Rush style, right? Could you imagine New Jeans on a 12
Quack, quack.
スティンファン
episode?
グイズザトップかわいいオブザコスモスハンプティダンプティハングエーナットオンエイウォールハンプティダンプティハドエーグレートフォール
I can't even hear
ハンプ
this.
ティダンプティハングエーナットオン
I
エイ
can
ウォー
actually
ル
hear it. It's pretty funny.
ハンプティダンプティハドエーグレートフォールハンプティダンプティハングエーナットオンエイウォールハンプティダンプティハドエーグレートフォールハンプティダンプティハングエーナットオンエイウォールハンプティダンプティハドエーグレートフォールポイポイ
Poi,
At least it
poi.
ended with a poi poi. Chicken Fam coming in with a coffee donation. Thank you, buddy. And quite frankly, that's all we had to do was put New Jeans on. He woke up and it was a
I
New
don't know
Jeans
if
minute
it's a New Jeans or he sensed this dog that he hates. This poor dog.
coming up. But thank you. And the long and short of it was Chicken Fam is the top kawaii of the Cosmos. Humpty Dumpty hung a. Oh, am I allowed to read?
Did it stop going live? That says we're live. Is it still live? For you?
Yeah. I just I started reading what I was going to read and decided I shouldn't read what. But thank you, Chicken, for everything, for all your support.
I need a bigger chalkboard. I can barely see that. That's what I'm using to try to read the chat.
Oh, yeah. I asked if you suck the dog, sick the dogs on them, and apparently. All right, that was the Kofi. Oh my God, you got me all flustered with that one.
I'm gonna show you. Oh, I could turn off the latency too. Probably shouldn't touch the setting, but I'm going to anyway. Because it makes it difficult for me to know if it's like actually working properly if the latency is too slow.
Boy.
Wait.
Humpty Dumpty. I wonder what kind of nut it was.
Okay. Oh, that seems to help a little bit. Yeah, or not. I don't know. All right, I had a couple social media things because I didn't know what else we were going to talk about.
Well, let's rock and roll with your social medias, and then we will introduce maybe a new topic / series to the Stardom Fan Podcast, and that will probably be the show. But what do we got on the old social medias? The Natsupoi Sayori show was just sort of a thing. I didn't watch it. I mean, it was a pay-per-view. I'm sure they did good. I'm sure they had great numbers. I assume we'll report on that eventually. And if, at least their events, I'll probably watch. I assume it's going to be on Stardom World because it was listed on their calendar as like a Stardom event. You know how it's like color coded if they're going elsewhere or anything?
I think it was a Stardom pay-per-view.
Yeah, I think so too. Like the whole, but I was half confused about it. It almost reminds me of like the all-in situation or whatever, where it's like Netsu and Sayori was like
they're the money marks, and then technically you're the money marks because they crowdfunded the show, and then
that's what I mean.
Stardom's like producing it.
Yeah, so they crowdfunded a Stardom show.
Right now, Lady C is just really proud of her dog on the chalkboard.
All right, show me about the dog.
Okay, I don't know what happened first, if these videos are a response to something else or if these videos happened before, but Lady C's just like happy that she has a little gremlin dog. What is this dog? But her dog is like, knows all the tricks, right? I'm actually surprised. I thought these dogs were assholes. I didn't know you could train them. Did you know you can train a Chihuahua?
Well, they had that one Chihuahua once that used to be on commercials for Taco Bell.
Weren't they pumping it full of drugs?
I don't know. I have thought it was
That was before CGI. Or that's what we think. But anyway, her dog knows like all these tricks, right? And that's like in response to
so it's Lady C dog.
Apparently Aya Sakura has like the same dog. And this is her trying to get her dog to do tricks. Not having it.
This is actually hilarious. If I gotta share this bit with my brother. He actually has a little rat-faced Chihuahua, and I'm gonna try to have him try to send you a picture of him or her trying to do a trick. It's hilarious.
Good job.
Ah, good God. I've been trying good God.
When I shove the dog on its belly. That's the trick her dog knows how to do.
Rolling over is throw the dog on its belly.
I think she was like,
That's
"Lady,
back.
we could have a tag team." It's like her dog, Lady C's dog knows every trick, and like her dog's like, "No, you're gonna have to roll me over. I'm too lazy. You can roll me over if you want me to get a belly rub."
I was just trying to get herself over with the Lady C rub. How do you like that? It's like, hey, we have the same dog.
Is it a dog? It's like a rat thing. It's like a gremlin.
I've seen a long-haired Chihuahua before. They're sort of cute.
They had.
They basically look like a little cat with ears that are too big, and you're not supposed to feed it after. It comes with instructions.
Isn't this the?
You're not supposed to feed it after midnight. You're not supposed to get it wet.
I haven't read Harry Potter. Isn't this a Dobby? Isn't this what a Dobby is?
The, the house elf. It almost looks like him.
Moving on.
Well done.
This one is just for you. So, did you know that Thekla?
Did this happen?
Did you know that Thekla? Well, this happened. This is when she joined Hate. Did you know that
I
Thekla?
thought.
What's the company? Oh, geez, AEW. Oh my gosh. Did you know that she joined
Thekla
AEW?
Yeah, and I heard that. I saw the teasers, and Thekla is literally the only reason I watched an entire pretty shitty pay-per-view. But I did watch it with friends and beer, so that made it good.
Yeah.
But all I wanted to see was Thekla, and I didn't see her. However, it turned out she was on Dynamite, and after watching 5 hours of shit, I was like, yeah, I'm good. So I missed her.
Damn. Because she says, "Hi, bitch, you're next," and it's got a picture of her. Did she spit up on Mina, or is that like somebody else? I don't know. She's like to Mina, and Mina was like, "No, oh boo! I really thought I was done seeing your face." So there you go. There's your forever foes.
Thekla and Mina, huh? And what happened to Mariah May? She was like, bye. Club Venus is not here. Thekla's here. I'm gone.
I just had to share a photo of the greatest tag team of all time. Can you think of a better tag team than Mai Sakurai and Shanyota? I can't.
Mai Sakurai has the great ability of putting herself with better partners.
Who else has she been with?
Lady C.
True. Julia.
Mariah.
Starlight Kid. My dreams, maybe. Oh, this is cool.
Those are all facts.
This next this is a video for you because this is like from Eve. It's just I don't know how big of a company it is, but it's where Sherry's gonna defend her IWGP belt in London. And this video is 2 minutes.
Big, I think.
This video is 2 minutes long. I want your thoughts because I thought they did a better job of promoting the IWGP women's belt and the New Japan women's division in 2 minutes than New Japan has done in like 3 years.
All right.
The International Wrestling Grand Prix.
All right, pause.
For over 40.
Yeah.
They've already, on the first sentence, they promoted it better because they actually told you what the fucking IWGP even stands for. I watched New Japan for a decade
and you never
like,
knew. I think it stands for wrestling.
An IWGP belt.
I think W's got to be wrestling in there. Yeah.
Instantly, it's a better commercial.
The International Wrestling Grand Prix. For over 40 years, the preeminent symbol of worldwide professional wrestling excellence. From early tournaments to the most elite of champions.
Look at that young Tanahashi.
Yeah, another pause is actually in order too, because if you went back a little bit, their belts are exactly the same as their original belt is the literal replica of the girls' belt now. Or
Poi poi.
グリ
swiped
ゾ
it,
イズ・ザ・
reversed
トップかわいいオブ・ザ・コスモスマライア・トゥーミナ・バイポイ
Oh, Mariah told Mina bye poi.
it.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Grizz. Grizz with a coffee donation is a top kawaii Cosmos. Mariah Tamina. Bye,
Aw.
boy.
I lost my pineapple glasses, but I have a Macho Man Randy Savage. Maybe. What were you saying? Oh yeah, like these. It's like, oh the IWGP women's belt. Yeah, it's based off of this belt here. Which I don't know if that's the original or not, but it's based off the older design. It's basically the same belt, just a little smaller.
Yeah, it looks exactly the same. I had no idea. I think that's actually adds a whole lot of something to it.
Professional wrestling excellence.
Yeah.
Wrestling excellence. From early
Because by
tournaments
the
to
time
most
they gave it
elite
to Tanahashi, he was like, "Yeah, I'd like a belt that covers half my body, please."
champions, it's emblematic of what all in this sport.
God, Twitter.
Do you know who's talking? I'm pretty sure that's Chris Charlton.
Maybe. Yeah, I think so. Twitter video player is the worst. Oh my god, sorry.
It's emblematic of what all in this sport strive for.
AJ Styles, whoever that guy is.
Since 2022, the best female wrestlers in the world have also strived for that same grand prize.
Hell yeah.
Only 4 have attained it, and all 4 are more than worthy of that legacy. Kairi and Mercedes Moné represented the international spirit of the IWGP. But it was Mayu Iwatani who derailed the money train, and her 735-day reign became the longest of any IWGP recognized champion in history.
But who beat
It
her?
takes a different breed of woman to slay an icon, and Shuri is every bit a different breed of woman.
Hold on. Now that is a great introduction. Because, one, I love Shuri. It takes a different breed of woman to slay an icon. Introduce Shuri, baby. That's fucking cool, man. Yes.
Oh. Ah.
チキンファームイズザトップかわいいオブザコスモスハンプティダンプティハングエーナットオンエイウォールハンプティダンプティハドエーグレートフォールハンプティダンプティハングエーナットオンエイウォールハンプティダンプティハドエーグレートフォールハンプティダンプティハングエーナットオンエイウォールハンプティダンプティハドエーグレートフォールハンプティダンプティハングエーナットオンエイウォール
Thank you again.
ハンプティダンプティハドエーグレートフォール
Again.
ポイポイ
I hope that lasagna was good.
Sixteen-year veteran of pro wrestling rings and MMA cages, Shuri had already been at the top of the world's stardom ranks and now seeks to build her worldwide legacy. But what breed of woman will it take to slay 2 icons in as many months? Shuri's opponent June the 6th is someone who ruled the British wrestling landscape for over 2 years. Alex Windsor's 765 days as undisputed British women's champion saw her carve her own international footprint. But it's the
Wait, is that the person? Did Mina beat her? Because that's not as impressive if Mina's beat her. Because I think Monet.
This lady's. Well, this lady, she said she's been a champion of whatever for 700 something days too.
Yeah, but that's not impressive if you get beat by Mina. I don't know if that's true. I just know that's the same belt Mina
IWGP
had.
that cements a legacy with the international greats. Now, for the first time ever, Britain
In
sees
London.
an IWGP women's title match.
Probably.
For the first time, Shuri defends her position as the world's best. Will Alex Windsor seize the grand prize, or will the challenger learn that it bears a
Calling
great
Shuri
price?
the world's best is so fucking cool.
But anyways, that's like, isn't that the most promotion and the best promotion that belt's ever gotten?
It's got me pumped up. I don't even know how to watch an Eve show. And I want to watch that so fucking bad. Wow.
Oh. Apparently, I was ranting and raving about this match. Saori Anou and Natsupoi versus Waka Tsukiyama and Rian. And I was like, this is the greatest match of like all time.
This like put Rian over for you so much, didn't it?
Yes, and apparently I'm not the only one because I follow a bunch of people on Twitter who take like super awesome photos, kind of like Grizz does, like people who go to these shows with like professional cameras. And there were so many photos of this match, and this is just the one that I just had to share. She doesn't even have to try to kick your ass.
No, she is so freaking cool, dude.
But yeah, this match, everyone needs to check out that match. Rian is like a superstar. She got a bigger pop than Starlight Kid did, and she was in the main event defending her white belt. I'm not even kidding. Everyone wanted Rian to beat Natsupoi.
It's awesome. These fans, we are starting to really root for underdogs. I tell you, but there's something to be said about that class. I mean, Rian is part of the Kurara class, I'm assuming, right? So we got Kurara, Aya, Rian. That's a pretty strong class.
Uriah Hemi is pretty good.
Stardom fans' favorite rookie right now. Akira? Until we see what these new kids are all about. I like Akira. You know what? If Akira's running Suzu's group, but if that was like Akira was probably going to be my favorite, but I have to jump on your bandwagon because you always like call the pinnacles.
Oh yeah, I had a couple things from the Saori Natsupoi show. So this is how they opened a little bit. I guess this is how they opened the show. They're flying through the air, singing their own theme song. So you get a concert and a wrestling show.
There's a somewhere Tam Nakano's like, what the fuck?
I didn't know
That's my bit.
I didn't know I could do this. So Natsupoi,
I didn't know they could actually sing. We were lip syncing.
So Natsupoi moved on from Meltier.
Hey, Chicken throws. Well, we have Noodle. Hi, Noodle says Mina beat Danny Luna, but Chicken says we can watch Eve on YouTube. Can we watch Shuri, the Icon Slayer, on YouTube?
Is that the awesome girl? Is she the one that was in? Hang on. Who's the one that beat up on Hazuki in the Spark Joshi show?
Oh,
was that Danny Luna?
I don't remember now. I know we talked about it for like 3 weeks, and now hitting a pothole.
No, it's a different person.
Yeah. I thought that was the next show I was all excited for, to tell you the truth. And then you showed me a commercial for Shuri, the Icon Slayer.
She's like the legend killer. What happens when she runs out?
Well, you become the legend.
I thought this photo of Starlight Kid and Hanan would get you excited.
I am all excited. It's like
Wing
there's
Gory
been a weird
versus Starlight and one of her friends.
Well, one, Hanan's just like, I'll take that white belt anytime, and quite frankly, she should. And then, why doesn't like Wing Gory just pick? Well, they only got one more friend, so you grab Komomo and you're like, we're just gonna win the artist belts now too. Like, why don't they just let's go?
If Hanan is the first one to figure out like that strategy, I'm gonna be so happy.
It's like, well, if we're already the best tag team, all we got to do is add anybody, and chances are we're gonna win.
Don't even have to tag him in. Like, just sit there. It's like when Braun Strowman won the tag team titles with the 8-year-old.
That's exactly where my brain went. It's like, yeah, I mean, just hang out there. It's good. We got this. We got this. I'm Hanan.
Oh, this is not so good. This is also from the Sayori show. Sayori Natsupoi show.
They hung Kurara?
Yes. And as you can tell, the ref is like, okay, you can do that, but only for like 6 more seconds. But it's okay. Because bam! She got her revenge. And then we'll just pretend that she won the match. And then this is like, you can just remember that moment there.
How's Kurara going to be our next red belt champion if she's losing on Natsu Sayori shows?
Because she's the GOAT. This photo made me, I thought it was pretty funny because they just looked like, I don't know, they look like anime protagonists. Like, Sayori balances out how goofy Natsupoi is. It's great.
I mean, it's funny where I also see that, but I also see they are like the perfect lead characters in the next JRPG I'm going to play. They just need 2 more party members.
Oh, see, I was assuming that, like, Sayori was, like, the main character, and Natsupoi was, like, her spirit, like, her sprite, or whatever. Oh my god.
Natsupoi is Sayori's spirit animal.
It's like Shaman King. So, like, Sayori is the main character, and, like, this is her personality. It's like, wait, my personality is a bubbly fairy? Ew.
That's exactly how that would work when you're calm, cool, and collective. But yeah, your ability is to summon.
To summon
They are
Natsupoi.
polar opposites. So I guess there is a couple matches I want to watch out of that show, huh?
I think they end up fighting each other. I haven't looked at the card. I thought they were in different matches, but I know they end up fighting each other because of course they do.
Oh, I thought they were tag teaming.
They had costume changes too. Something that Sayori said, I don't know the exact quote, but I read like an article where she's talking about this show, and she's like, "It's my 10th year anniversary of being in wrestling, and I've been in Stardom for a few years now." And she's like, "I think it's like people are just getting sick of me, so this is like a chance for me to like, reinvigorate myself." What do you think about her thinking that everyone in Stardom is just getting sick of her?
She needs better friends. If she thinks that's the case, like I am shocked that Sayori doesn't have every belt, like literally all of them. Like I don't start anywhere. Like she's top 2. Maybe she'd have a top like a tough time against Saya, but I don't know. 5 out of 10 times, Sayori's gonna win that match. Like Sayori should have every belt.
Do you think it's because she's she's just like impatient type of person? Like, doesn't she wrestle everywhere? You think this is like, oh, they must be sick of me. I've wrestled here more than 6 times. She wrestles for every company.
Yeah, which is funny. I think she started off as freelance, right? And then she ended up getting signed with Stardom, and then she still just fights everywhere else. It's like you can't hold a good Sayoriano down.
Yeah, like if you look at her, is this okay? But not counting her rookie year, this is like her most exclusive she's ever been to like one company, and she's still competed for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different companies, 7 if you count her own show. She wrestles everywhere.
What is that Colors branded show?
I don't know. Will it tell me? But she did.
That sounds awesome.
Colors.
That sounds like the type of show I want to watch.
We had Hikari Shimizu versus Saki. Oh, there you go. That's your main event.
I thought Hikari retired. This was months ago.
Saki retired her.
Oh, that was her retirement match. I gotta go. I got a match to watch. Hikari versus Saki. Oh my god.
But that's all I got. That's my social media minute. It's mainly just Sayori Natsupoi.
Well, good. That was great. That was a great start. Do you want to attempt our new what'd you call it, segment to the Stardom Fan Podcast?
Yeah.
What I would like to do, I think I just want to do one today, and then we'll sort of go from there. But I'm thinking, and when we're gonna get ideas for our podcast today, we threw it on the Discord, stardomfan.com, or in the show notes to join this group of friends. Um, the reason we started with New Jeans is because our first reply was talk about New Jeans, and you were like, "Okay, I guess we have to." Our friend said to, and then Grizz shouted out, "Why don't you talk about white belt champions or red belt champions?" And I sort of that led me to almost taking that a step further, and I think it would be fun to talk about all the belts and maybe sort of the history of the belts, and if we're feeling really fun, maybe ranking the champions. So thought might as well start with maybe a belt that doesn't even exist anymore, the history of the SWA title. And then we can end on that.
Sure. I don't know
But,
anything about it.
I
But
got a fact sheet up, and then we'll just sort of, I think it'd be a fun little series, talking about our belts, and then I don't know, we can cut this out and just make it a separate episode. I don't know. At the end of every couple episodes, if they're running short or we need something to talk about, we'll break down a belt, and this one is definitely interesting. Like if I was to say to you, there's a title belt that is bookended with the inaugural champion being Io Shirai, no Io, and the final champion before retiring the belt being Mayu Iwatani, you would have to assume it is the greatest championship of all time, right? Make a commercial of that title.
all I know about the SWA belt is that the best champions just throw it in the trash.
Throw that belt in the garbage.
Utami,
But
Shiri, and Mayu have all thrown that belt in the trash, out the window. It's
it is
also
funny.
Sekla's baby.
I think that belt has been vacated more than it's been won. But we'll get into it in just a second. Do you mind if we take a quick 2-minute break?
Yes.
At the 41. All right. You do mind? Which means I'm going to go take a minute. Talk to chicken for something. I don't know. Talk about lasagna and Humpty Dumpties.
I'm going to mess with my settings to try to make the latency not so crazy.
It is more behind than it usually is, but that's all right. At least it's smooth.
Yeah, that's why I've been afraid to touch it. But now we're on like a different thing. I'm at least like if it gets messed up, it's not like in between, or it's in between segments. It's running smoothly. I just need to get the latency to not be so crazy. I don't know if that'll fix it. Let's see. I don't know if that fixes it or if like I'd have to restart the stream to fix the latency. I might have fixed the setting. Anyway, I'm gonna read the chat. I love being in ladies' classroom. I would never leave. Oh. Why does it always do that? I get so scared. Yeah, I might have to restart the stream, but I'm not going to do that. Oh. Did it stop streaming? Alright. Oh, when I change settings, it always looks like it stops for me. Okay. Alright. That looks better. Hand up. Oh, that's a lot better. Okay, cool. Alright, let me see some chat. Ernest goes to Beverly Hills. Ernest goes to, how many movies are there? There's so many. Ernest goes to Gamp.
Did you bring up the Ernest list?
Yeah. Alright, I think I fixed our latency problem.
Oh, cool.
I was wanting to fix that, but I don't want to like do it like we're still doing like the other segment and then screw up the end of it for recording.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's not something I was even going to bring up to you. It's like, because usually we're within like 15 seconds of like going live in the chat so you can go, but it was like minutes.
I mean, I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I turned it down on purpose because I didn't want to like deal with it any more problems. That's like one
I
of
don't
the.
blame you for nothing.
That's like one of the go-to things. I usually keep. I usually keeping it live just for me because it's easier to see if there's something weird going on. But Saya should have.
Then.
Chicken says Saya should have no belts. Sori is, and then Noodle Macaroni. That's a good name. Sori is the Oz Academy champion. Do I have to watch that? Can we talk? Do we start researching other Joshi belts too? I want to research every belt Sori has ever won.
I mean, there's only one way that makes sense, and she is one of the few people I would do it for. It's like, all right, well, we're a Sayori fan. We're just gonna follow her around.
She's like a big part of Oz Academy too, I think.
I don't know who they are.
I don't
mean,
know.
That'll probably make me sound stupid, but
I don't know either. I just know she's a big part of it. Hazuki beat Lena Cross. Okay. Lena Cross, yeah. Lena Cross is the one that's like 6'5" and you can't teach that.
Oh my god. At least next to Hazuki she looks 6'5". My dude, I am so pumped. I tell you what, like Spark, that crazy woman can only afford to do 2 shows a year, but boy are they good. I can't wait for the next one. I don't know. I mean, it just might be as simple as like you put Saki in a show and then you put Hazuki in a show and it's like, all right. I'm gonna sit back and enjoy.
I'm surprised they haven't gotten Sayori for these shows. She does every show.
Sayori doesn't come to
チキ
America,
ンフ
does
ァンム
she?
イズザトップカワイイオブザコスモストクシックラバーヨーレノベタユーリトルデーモンインマイストーリリンドンとノックオンマイドアアイルシーユーアウトアンドドンというのハウスイートイットタストハウスイートイットタストイエドンというのハウスイートイットタストハウスイートイットタストイエドンというのハウスイートイット
How sweet it is now that I'm without you.
Oh, those are lyrics? Well, thank you. Making it rain. New Jeans lyrics. Chicken. Thank you, chicken.
Thank you. It wipes my brain every time he sends something.
I know it's actually it's such a fun like plugin that you have that like right in the middle of a thought all of a sudden
Bam!
it's almost like chicken knows. It's like, all right, they're going poi 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 poi.
Well, by the time
poi.
What's funny is like by the time you go to like donate it, probably we're on to our next thought, so it's like always gonna interrupt.
Well, now we're sort of caught up, so we're good. Thanks.
It's also
again,
like
chicken.
sort of loud. I don't know. I wouldn't even turn it down if I could. It's almost funny that I'm like, what's going on?
Oh, I think it actually sounds. I think it might just be levels on your side. I think everything actually sounds really, really good today.
Well, if you donate, it blows my eardrums out.
That's how it hurts, Juno. Just so you guys know. All right. Did you want to try this little segment and see how it goes?
Sure.
So
Lady C has went ahead and compiled a list of all the SWA champions on the board.
Well, basically, yeah. And just to bit of notes up in case we were getting.
They basically made a belt. Basically just made a belt for Tony Storm.
That's what it sounds like. So the idea was the SWA belt was brought into commission or introduced.
What does SWA stand for?
The Oh, well, yeah. That I also didn't know. The Stardom World Association. How cool is that? They were like, you know what? This is 2016. Chicken in the chat would really know about 2016 time because like we're a little bit later in the game. He would probably tell us that 2016 is one of the greatest eras of all time. So May 21st, 2016, they come up with an SWA belt. They want to branch out. They make a belt that is the Stardom World Association belt. And this belt basically this
You
is
can't
even funnier.
wrestle somebody from your country. That's like the
Yeah,
step.
and that's the stip, but there's actually it's almost like in the NWA. There's actually a Stardom World Association. This alliance includes promotions from Japan, um, the UK, and I guess it was British Empire Wrestling, France, ABC Catch, Mexico, Women's Stars. I don't know, stuff I've never heard of. But I mean, they had other factions working with each other. Spain Revolution Championship Wrestling. So it's really
Isn't that
freaking cool.
okay? But is that like what they have now? Like technically, Stardom's a part of like a unified Japan something. They do like the
Well,
they do like the I'm gonna look that up. They do like all together shows.
well,
All
New
together
Japan
again or
started that
something.
too. Yeah, New Japan tried that a couple of years ago, and they had some kind of big
The
alliance. I think it
United
was
Japan Pro Wrestling. So technically, New Japan and Stardom are a part of that.
yeah, but who's included? And I think it died
New
as quickly
Japan,
as they
Noah. Well, because
put it together.
it sounds cool for one show, and then it's silly. It's like you're just gonna I don't know. Like it's maybe once a year it's a good show, but it can't be a promotion.
Well, all this is all stuff like that is trying to protect them from some big company in New York coming in and throwing their money around.
Tony Khan,
Yeah, that one. No, he's from Florida, right? What
who's
set the
e-
SWA belt
Juggalo
apart was
Juggalo Championship Wrestling. I thought they were Ohio,
yeah, they're throwing tons of YouTube money
and
around.
WWE is Connecticut. You're talking about Empire State Wrestling, your local indie. They're gonna come in and take over by storm.
I'm watching so we got two. ESW is the big one. Like
ESW.
WWE guys have been there. But there's a sort of a wrestling below them, like the indie of indie wrestling, Nickel City Wrestling, and we're going to a show. We got first row VIP. It's at a casino in Batavia, Western New York. Like it is, and it's on Father's Day. It's gonna be fucking glorious. So that's my.
Nice.
You started it. That's my indie wrestling. But what you said was right. What set the SWA belt apart was its international only rule. A wrestler could only challenge for this title if they're from a different country than the reigning champion. Which didn't we like think it was pretty goofy at the time? Like Shuri, like isn't Shuri very or like multiracial? She was like technically Shuri just can wrestle anybody.
If she wants
give
to
it to
wrestle,
Shuri. Shuri.
if she wants to wrestle like a white woman, she can be Japanese. If she wants to wrestle someone on the Stardom roster, she's Filipino. If she wants to
Yes.
wrestle a Filipino, then she's wrestles Fukigen because she's from Mars.
I would be interested in actually bringing up Shuri's stuff because you bringing up the Filipino part like that like is there to be. They've had to have talked that on. It had to be a show that was on commentary or something because I remember being like, really? That's when we decided like, oh, they're just reaching at this point.
Well, because
uh,
I'm looking here, Tony Storm had the belt for 612 days, so they just gave it to her because they were obsessed with Tony Storm.
well, they did a lot of stuff in the UK, so 612 days. Most of the defenses for Tony Storm's reign was in the UK and America. So this was basically them really trying to push going international and giving it to a young Tony Storm to travel her home country and try to, get to a couple of the USA shows. I would assume, I don't know for sure. Wildlife Facts get in the way of a good story, but they were probably at the New York City show, one of those original shows that you can catch up on Stardom World.
Mm-hmm.
We did already talk. Like this title's wild. The inaugural champion is Io Shirai, who defeated
yeah.
Toni Storm in the finals of a 9-woman tournament, which took place in Barcelona, Spain. Like it almost just sounds like the Olympics. Like what is happening?
And then Toni Storm defended it all around the world. And then I don't know anything about Viper, except I watched her get her ass kicked by Utami.
Yeah, so I mean, if you got it up, do you want to go through the reigns? Because I know you actually followed the Utami stuff because you went back and watched most of Utami's stuff. So a rookie Utami ends up with this belt. Was this one of the 3 belts that Utami had when she was the big rookie?
She didn't just win that belt. She also ended up with the big-ass Giant Eve International Championship. I think that's the same time she was like the Futures Champion, a little after that. So she was just collecting all the belts. And then what she did is she like threw all those belts in the trash and says, I can't be focusing on these belts because I want to go for like world titles. I know that she lost to Jamie Hayter, and then COVID hit, and the championship was vacated. I don't know how long it was vacated for. Vacated for a long time because this thing says like basically for a year because October vacated in January. Oh wait, no, vacated in I don't know. Jamie Hayter won it in January, and then it says vacated, and the next champion is October 3rd, B Priestley.
Mm-hmm.
Who B Priestley was like in Stardom at the time, so that just gave them an excuse to let Sherry beat her.
Well, it's one of those things too where she was in Japan, like Babe Priestley.
Yeah, it was like a weird. It's a cool idea to have. It's a cool idea for a title belt, like this belt that just gets defended all around the world. And then global pandemic hits, and now it's like this belt has like these super crazy strict rules where we can only have the belt be on Shuri because she's technically Filipino. Not technically Filipino. She's Filipino, so she can technically challenge anyone.
And then you end up in a world where in Japan, it lasted. I mean, they had wrestling shows and fans quicker than us, but their travel restrictions. I even hate like reminiscing about the COVID days, but they had travel restrictions that lasted even longer. So to have a belt that you had to fight a foreigner or someone of a different nationality than you, but you couldn't travel, like that really made it hard for this belt to survive.
So they just put it on Shuri, and she defended it like once every like 3 months. And then she just decided
she had that belt at the same time as something too, didn't she?
Yeah, she had her Money in the Bank briefcase. She won the 5-star and was carrying around her little briefcase. And then she just voluntarily, because she was also the Goddess of Stardom champion. So she's like, I'm a tag team champion. I'm challenging for the world title. I don't have time for this other belt. So she vacates that belt, the SWA belt.
Do you remember that moment too? Shuri's so Shuri's a double champion. The SWA belt isn't really being defended. Is that's also the time where Shuri's basically holding both belts because Julia's injured for her tag team championship?
Julia was injured, one or vice versa. Shuri got injured and also Julia got injured, but like not at the same time. So it's like they were tag team champions it's funny enough, they were one of the best tag team champions, even though they never defended the belts.
Oh, what a team, huh?
Julia and Shuri.
And Shuri made Julia so fucking cool.
Julia made Shuri so goofy, or maybe vice versa.
That was the next thing I was gonna say. Julia taught Shuri how to dance.
I've seen Shuri's TikToks. I think she made Julia goofy. Shuri vacates, then Thekla challenges Mina Shirakawa. Thekla wins it, and they finally have like another foreign women to have this belt, so they could have title matches for it again. But it doesn't matter because Mayu says, "You know what, Thekla? This belt means everything to you. To me, it's just like another check on the box. I want to be a Grand Slam champion." She beats Thekla in like one of the best matches I think like Stardom's ever had.
Yeah, Thekla versus Mayu. Was that May 5th, 2022?
Yes. And then Mayu throws
Wow.
the SWA belt in the trash.
Right in the trash.
Thekla
It's
fights.
something that looking at this sort of shows.
And then it says it got deactivated. Mayu voluntarily deactivated so she can challenge for the IWGP women's belt. And then like Wikipedia just says November 3rd, this championship was abandoned.
I want to actually bring up
It's an
Mayu's defenses. I wonder if that's got to be on WWR Stardom. Maybe I'll bring that up in a sec. But so Thekla becomes the SWA champion. At that point, it's a vacated belt because that's the belt Jamie Hayter had to get rid of because she couldn't travel anymore. So Thekla's in town, and so we have Thekla versus Mina for a vacated belt. That's actually just sort of neat because right now we got Thekla hunting down Mina in America. It's like, let's do it all over again for one of their 30 belts.
They'll probably bring it back.
The SWA belt's about to be an AEW belt. That's almost as prestigious as one of those Ring of Honor belts. You brought up cage match. Did Mayu versus Thekla get a 9.74, or was that something else?
I think Mayu's just a 9.74.
Oh, Mayu's just a 9.74. That's way too low. You dummies on cage match. Some asshole put her as a 1. You know that's true.
Misclick.
Mayu's now you got me watching your screen. Mayu's a champion? Did she beat up Yuzuki at that show?
Okay. How many times did she defend this belt? I don't remember that.
It said 3. Yeah, I don't remember it either. That's why I want to see the match history.
I don't remember her beating Alpha Female. That probably made that leave my brain.
Oh, that was one of the first times I saw Alpha Female, and I thought it was great.
And then she wrestled. Yeah, I'm okay. She wrestled in New York.
Kylan King.
And then and then I remember. Yeah, Mayu they packed themselves into a corner where they're passing this. They could have just kept the belt on Thekla, but they wanted Mayu to be a Grand Slam champion. So Mayu wins the belt, and now, whoopsie! Like unless she faces Thekla again, there's no one else she's allowed to fight for this belt. So she challenges Fukigen, who's actually not Japanese. She's from outer space, so it's okay. It's like the Undertaker is just from parts unknown.
I love it. I love it. Hey, but that's wrestling in a nutshell, right? And great thing. For like a belt with a sort of a short history, like it is pretty wild though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. And just the fact that it survived. I mean, it survived the. I don't know. It just seems like a fun time. So like, Chicken says 2018 to 2020 was the best. So in 2016, Stardom has the balls, or at least they have a working relationship to say we're gonna like just have a belt and travel. It almost reminds me. This probably isn't completely the case. I don't know the British scene, but like New Japan, the Rev Pro belt ends up over here a lot. So it almost sort of feels like that sort of thing where it's like, we'll have your champion on our TV a lot, and, you know, we'll both, you know, it'll work out for both of us. And so that's when you see Tony Storm having a title for $1 billion for a year, a brand new belt, that is just awesome.
So I'm going to bring up the roster page. I haven't given this too much thought. Is there even any like who would you make the new SWA champion if they brought that back?
Oh, this was great, and yeah, this is what I. Well, actually, there was 2 segments. I don't know
Forgot
if
about Xena
the
because she's
first
been
idea was
gone.
going to work.
So
Is
literally,
you
Xena is the only person that could have hold this belt besides like Shuri or Fukigen, I guess.
well. Well, why don't we do this? If we were to have yeah, can we all right, so we're going to fantasy bracket this. The SWA belt is back. Let's have a 4-person tournament. Do we have 4 different nationalities out here? We have Fukigen.
Hanan, okay, we got our Japanese girl.
All right, I like it.
Natsupoi is a fairy. That's international, baby. No, Shuri.
Okay.
Got 2.
So we need one more. Shuri needs an opponent.
Xena. Okay, now we need one more. Do we even have? We don't have a 4th.
No. Yeah, we do. We have Hanan and Fukigen. And Shuri versus Xena.
Well, Shuri versus Xena is like one of the best matches like Stardom's had in a while.
They also did have a great match too. What did they fight for? It was a Xena retire, or it was a Xena like go home match a couple years ago. Like her visa didn't work and she was like, I just want to fight Shuri. So they had a match that was way better than it needed to be because Xena can go.
But basically, that you can't even you can get the 2 wrestlers, one of them that's not Japanese, and then one of them that is, and then you gotta like get shenanigans. You can see why the belt had to get thrown in the trash.
Yeah,
Retired.
just trying to fantasy book a new belt is hard enough, so we understand why this belt no longer exists. However, with a partnership they have with AEW right now, loosely, I guess Bushiroad in New Japan, you would almost think, considering they have 45 titles, an SWA belt coming up could almost make sense.
Well, is there? I don't know. Is there anyone on the female? Dude, they have 2. No, there's no way this many guys are on their roster. Jesus, that was that's still going. Okay, the men's roster is like 300 people. Okay. Okay. I actually do kind of like Harley Cameron.
Why was she a juggalo?
I wish. Megan Bain.
Chicken Fam coming in brilliant again. Why don't they just say they fix it instantly? I mean, you can both be Japanese, but if you're from different prefectures. You got the Chiba. You got the Chiba Alliance going against the Tokyo Towers. Let's go! Now we got a tag team SWA belt.
Lady C is from Chiba. Who's
just
gonna wrestle herself?
Sure.
There's like 5 women on their entire roster. Not even. Karen Jarrett's like one of their top 5.
I don't know. I've never seen her before.
Karen Jarrett.
Jamie Hayter was at the pay-per-view. I was like, oh my god! If we were playing 20 questions, I never would have guessed her. Boy, did she look different than the last time I saw her. But anyways, you want to finish up with this SWA belt? The SWA belt's gone. It had a fine life.
Sure.
Some might even say, if I was to type it into a thing to tell me what they thought about it, though the SWA title is no longer active, it remains. This is actually true, considering we spent the time recapping it. This remains a fascinating chapter in Stardom's history, an experiment in global outreach and a proving ground for some of the best wrestlers in the world. Some might say that right now, Toni Storm is timeless only because she started with an SWA title. Come on, that was all right. Give me a single clap. Come on.
Get golf clap. You had me till the end.
Oh man, I thought it was all right. I thought we did good. I like that. What do you think? And then next time we do this, we do a the futures title. What do you think? We just do title by title until we get to the top. I like that. I think that was a good segment. What do you think, friends?
I think I read a comment from Noodle Macaroni earlier, where he said Oz is like Bizarro Joshi, like the villains are the main characters. Like, I think I've seen Soriano dressed in black and using a whip on people. So assuming that she's a bad guy, but isn't Soriano always a good guy? I mean, she was like whipping on Natsupoi, and they're best friends because of it. That's my take. And now I use the Superfly.
Whoa.
They could fix SCW out by saying, "Oh yeah, you're that." Japanese people. I guess, but then it's just like, why even? If they have to be from a different prefecture, I don't know. Maybe Japanese fans would be into it.
Hey, if they're anything like us, I'd tell you, us people in New York, if we get a couple New Yorkers, we want to come down there and fuck up you Southerners in Florida.
Bless your heart.
Until your Southern hospitality comes in. With that, I would like to thank you all and you too, Juno, especially, for another great week here, another great episode. You can follow everything we do at stardomfan.com. The podcast is there, the YouTube is there, the tour posters are there, there's articles. I mean, if it's Stardom and Stardom Fan related, it is at stardomfan.com. I would like to thank Grizz, and I would like to thank Chicken for supporting us in the middle of the show with your coffee donations. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody in the chat. And Juno, I have some very exciting news. 27 minutes ago, unless I'm reading this wrong, we'll still put it over, but it looks like that Chicken Fam has become a member of the Stardom Fan Icon tier on Patreon. Chicken, thank you. That's more than generous. And you know what that means? You're back to picking a monthly show for us. So there's hey, if it's new jeans, it's new jeans. But we still have the Arisa in the bag. So quite frankly, when Chicken recommends us a show, it's usually from an era I didn't watch, and I love learning about some of the classic Stardom.
Yeah,
anything else?
He's usually like, here, let's watch these matches. He's like,
well, what have we done? Like we watched on his request. I mean, we've watched Arisa, Jungle.
Somebody else.
Who is the Oedo Tai girl? I'm having
Kagetsu.
Yeah, it's like we've spent hours watching stuff on Chicken's recommendation, and it has all been great. Actually,
no, it's
Arisa
all good.
Out of those was probably my favorite because she also happens to sing really beautifully.
I just joke because it's like my favorite era is always when you start watching, but there's so much. They're putting out so much new stuff that it's like it's hard to go back and find time to watch like the old stuff. But it's all good.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. 2021 was the best year in Stardom.
Yes.
Which is also a Chicken joke in chat. He said that to us more than once. He's like, "Yeah, you like Saya. That's how I know you started watching in 2021." He's like, anyone who thinks Saya is amazing didn't watch in the teens.
What's funny is it's not like it. If you're like a WWE fan, it's like, oh yeah, it's like I thought the 90s was good. No, 80s with Hulk. No, I mean if you get like the 2000s, there's like Batista and John Cena. He's like, you guys are fans of 2021, 2018 to 2020 is the peak.
That is what's funny with Stardom, where it's like it's so compact that you're in like, you're not in decades, you're in like 3-year chunks, right? I would even say like 1 to 2 year chunks, but
I'll-
yeah.
But I'll tell you what.
Oh,
Well, hopefully it stays. Hopefully it stays good. But in 30 years, we might be looking back, and this is the golden period. Who knows?
what if these are the greatest times
Yeah,
of your
isn't
life?
that like a famous author? He's like, I wish there was a way to know you were in the good times when you were still living them.
Oh, that's deep. And with that, I suppose this is where you say bye, poi. And my new favorite sign off that I put
Bye,
on the
poi.
last podcast is you looking at your screen saying, how do I turn this shit off?
How do I turn this shit off? No, really, how do I do it?